Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 6. So, we have a new episode of The Flash in about 4 or 5 days from now, depending on when you're watching, which will give us our first intensive look, if you want to call it, at Central City and Team Flash post or after Crisis on Infinite Earths. Of course, we did see Caitlin, Nash Wells, and Barry in episode 5 or part 5 of Crisis. But even then, there wasn't much of an exploration into what was going on with any of them, outside of the fact that Martian Manhunter gave them the memories of pre-crisis to them, and we can logically assume that, if not all, of the people associated in a main role with the show of The Flash will also get the memories of post-crisis back. I don't think it's made clear in the episode, I think, that's coming up, but we should assume that. With also us getting that confirmation or comment, I guess you could say, from Laurel in the Green Arrow and the Canaries episode about Cisco tinkering with using Martian Manhunter's ability with certain tech and stuff, or being able to harness it. But what we're going to go over in today's episode is a preview of the episode from Hyperball, which I haven't really heard of the website before, but they seem to do episode previews all the time, which have sort of context to moments in the episode because they've actually seen the episode early. But without actually completely spoiling the episode, they just sort of tease you a bit and get you, mention stuff to get you thinking, get you excited about, so they're not teasing you in like a spoilery way. I should stop saying teasing, it sounds a bit dirty. Anyway, so we are going to go over a few things from it that are worth talking about, along with one major thing that should have us all thinking for the next several days until the episode actually airs and we get to see it. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions and I guess theories on certain things, especially about the major thing we'll talk about in a bit. So yeah, be sure to let me know all of them in the comment section down below. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and you're just looking forward to this episode airing, why not drop a like on the video to show support and excitement. But yeah, I guess it would be, civil of me to just say, minor spoiler alert. Like, as I said, there's nothing really that spoilery. It's more just teasing you. Gotta stop saying that. But anyway, just like sort of, giving you hints as to what's happening. But yeah, I guess minor spoiler alert just to save my ass so I don't get angry comments going, oh my god, you spoiled it! So I don't get that. So just giving that warning, I guess. So firstly, on Iris in the episode, we knew we'd be having a big Iris episode due to the, the trailers and what's being said, but this was what was said about the episode. Candice Patton gives one of her top performances of the series. Iris is bold, clever, and determined to get the story that she's working on. And this story certainly leads her to some interesting places. While investigating the shady secret organization that Allegra's cousin, Esperanza, was working for, Iris follows the clues to and finds herself wrapped up in such an intense, complicated mystery. It's beautiful and seems like the story we've been waiting for Iris to have. So on this, we always knew Iris was going to be at least very predominant in, I guess, this middle third, if you want to call it, like post-crisis. So the next, like, half of this season, I guess you could say, she was always going to have a very intensive role, and that's pretty much what the whole first half was leading up to. There was a lot of people, like, I know Iris fans were complaining about it, and I can understand because you were sort of promised, but it was always leading up to this moment. It had to get post-crisis because all of it was leading up to, like, that was like some of an issue with the first half, is that it was sort of bogged down by Crisis. But you knew it was always leading up to something where, post-crisis, you just go straight out of the gates. And I think that's exactly what they're doing in episode 10, which is good to see. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how long it takes them to actually say black hole. Because everyone, if you've watched videos from, I guess myself and other people that, know what that the organization is freaking black hole, it's sort of just getting to the point where it's like, well, can you just say it's black hole? Can they get to the point where they know what the organization is? Instead of this secret organization that they keep referring to. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Iris is doing. I think Iris has been written pretty damn well this season. It's definitely improving. Eric Wallace, the new showrunner, is pretty much nailing the character. Much improvement from previous seasons where she's sort of been like, I guess, like tethered by other things going on around her. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do here. But next up is the inclusion of Diggle in the episode. Obviously, we know he's in it thanks to promo images. Diggle's arrival in The Flash Season 6, Episode 10 is definitely what takes the majority of Barry's focus. Diggle brings the mask that Barry gave to Oliver, Oliver's first mask, as one of Oliver's final requests. Oliver's presence is still heavily felt with Barry, still reeling from the loss of his friend and his grief over it. The mask leads Barry on an adventure to a very familiar setting where he uncovers something both very unexpected, and unexpected that Oliver wanted him to know. And, spoiler alert, for those that haven't seen the Arrow series finale, I mean, if you haven't watched it now, you're never going to watch it, but if you're hoping to find out what happened to Diggle after that Green Lantern tease, don't hold your breath. This episode of The Flash takes place before the events of the Arrow finale. So, I had a feeling this would be the case because the Arrow finale was a month after Crisis, so it seems that this episode of The Flash probably is like a week or two after Crisis, so yeah. But in regards to this, I guess it's cool that Flash is still gonna, the Flash, the show, is going to almost serve as like a bit of an epilogue, I guess you could say, to Arrow and I guess Crisis and all, like the sacrifice Oliver made. Honestly, it's almost getting to the point where, like, if you read this, it almost seems like the Flash episode will be more of a tribute to Oliver than the actual Arrow finale, which seems really weird. Really weird to say, actually, but I am intrigued to see what Barry uncovers in regards to, what Oliver wanted him to know, and whether like it spurs him on into the back half, gives him some motivation, or it's like a mystery he has to uncover in some way, shape, or form. I'm intrigued because this, it would have been weird if Barry didn't have some sort of grieving in the actual Flash episode. So I think this is good that they're doing this, and I think it's really fitting that Diggle is the one to come and hang out with Barry for the episode and all of that. So I'm excited to see this portion of the episode in particular. But finally, this is the stuff with Team Flash for the episode. From the episode, it definitely seems like Jean gave everyone their memories back, or Martian Manhunter. The only uncertainty is Ralph, who was inexplicably missing from the episode, though I bet his were returned as well. With that knowledge, Cisco is kind of freaking out about being on Earth Prime and all of the changes to the timeline and physics, which we also saw in the trailer. While discussing the changes, Cisco confirms the fate of 2 characters on Earth Prime, which is very disappointing. We see Cisco with both Frost and Caitlin, mostly, and each share some great moments. But there's a really great scene of Caitlin and Cisco in the episode, and their beautiful friendship is always nice to see. Meanwhile, of infinite versions of Harrison Wells in the previous multiverse, we're stuck with Nash, and Cisco definitely shares our feelings about that, but it wouldn't be the Flash if they didn't talk about their feelings. So, just quickly on some of the minor stuff, I'm intrigued to see what they do with Nash, because Eric Wells has always said that Nash is going to have, Harrison Wells for this season is going to have the most emotional arc. So, post-Crisis, it must be like a big arc for him. I'm interested to see what they do with him, because his whole thing in the, in the first half was getting to that thing below, the whole Crisis setup, really. And the whole thing with like the changes to the timeline and physics is going to be completely broken down. We've seen that in the promo images. We see them recreating the new timeline of Earth Prime, and it's going to be interesting to see them try and tap into the multiverse again, and whether they make any sort of movement with that progress into tapping into it. However, the biggest thing from this is, who the hell are the 2 confirmed disappointing fates of characters on Earth Prime? Now, when you hear like 2 confirmed fates, you mean, okay, someone alive. But when it says disappointing, it can mean either someone that's a good character is dead, but potentially someone that's a bad character is alive. So in regards to the good characters that could be confirmed gone, Harry and Jesse, I think it would be at the #1 spot, just because they'd probably be wondering about it, especially with the fact that the multiverse would have been gone. Like, oh, we got restored, so did maybe they appear on this Earth? Maybe they heard about, how the fact that Supergirl's on this Earth and everything like that, and the characters that would have, potentially died still appeared there. So they might be looking for Harry and Jesse. But even there's other characters that we know in the multiverse, such as Jay and Joan Garrick. Did they go? We never actually saw Earth 3 get destroyed, but the whole multiverse was destroyed. So what happened to them? Jay might have been able to sense that the Speed Force was coming. Maybe he was able to hide somewhere or something along those lines and take his girlfriend at the time, Joan. So do we get confirmed fates of them? Of course, there's even things like Henry and Nora Allen. Obviously, we know that Oliver brought his mother back from the dead and changed certain things there. So are both of them alive? That's one that a lot of people are saying. I could see Henry Allen being alive. I think Nora being alive is too much of a stretch, because it's so important to Barry's backstory. Just how Oliver didn't bring back Robert Queen, for example, because it's so vital to where he went. And that's the exact same for Barry, really. So Nora coming back might be a bit of a stretch, but Henry's a possibility, I guess. There's obviously even Eddie and Ronnie. Did the events happen there that took their lives? Obviously, we know the singularity happened, but where things change, where they weren't killed by certain events around the singularity, whether it's Eddie shooting himself to get rid of Reverse Flash, or Ronnie, getting killed by it after when how Martin Starton survives, but he dies. So there's certain things change there. There's even things where in the Crisis Time comics, spoiler alert if you haven't read it, but Wally dies saving Barry. So are they going to confirm that he's dead? He's meant to be appearing in episode 14, but is a different version of Wally. There's even things like that, even Dante, Cisco's brother, is he alive now? There's multiple things that could be there in regards to good characters, but even bad characters. Maybe Reverse Flash is still there. Maybe the events of the singularity never happened like that, and he just ran away and the singularity started. Zoom might be alive. I don't know, DeVoe or something, various things like that. Bad characters could still be there, that never actually died or were taken away or anything like that. So I'm intrigued to see what this couple of fates that are revealed are. Let me know what you think who they could possibly be in the comment section down below, and I guess why. But also, that's actually not the only thing to think about, because it was revealed in the Hyperball article that there actually is a major cliffhanger at the end of the episode. So will this be a result of a crisis change? Are we going to be seeing a big crisis change presented to us? What could it be? Could it be maybe like the villain reveal, or is it a change to someone we know and where they're heading? I'm interested to see what the episode's like, if we're getting multiple things with like Barry and Diggle, even some of the Iris exploration, like Cisco and like the fates of these two characters, and then a freaking major cliffhanger at the end of the episode. I cannot wait. I can understand what's being said where people are saying that's actually a top 3 episode for the season from people that have already seen the episode. So I'm very excited. Now, one thing I do need to note while we're in this sort of video setting, Grant Gustin, who plays Barry, was filming Crisis during this episode's filming for the most part. Obviously, he's in the episode, but that's why he's not interacting with, say, a lot of people. So don't expect Barry with many of the other characters. It seems like he most likely will be with Diggle for the majority of the episode, and then maybe a scene or two, maybe 3 scenes with Iris. I'd say a scene or two. Maybe like we know that Iris is in a scene with Diggle, so maybe that's one of the scenes, and then maybe an end scene with Barry and Iris as well. So it's probably just going to be Barry and Diggle for the most episode, for the most during the episode. Sorry, just because he was filming Crisis while they were filming this. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like and it shows support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on what we went over. What are your thoughts on the 2 fates that are coming? What are your thoughts on maybe what Barry, is left by Oliver? And what do you think the major cliffhanger could be? Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.